It's called Advanced Answering Techniques. So it is 3 professional people explaining to other people how to answer different questions, a multiple variety of questions. Advanced Answering Techniques.
Hello and welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. I'm your host, Josh. I'm joined by Caleb.
Hello.
And Gabe.
Hi.
This is a podcast where our listeners send in questions and we provide definitive, ironclad answers.
Yes.
Always. We do that every week.
Every week.
Without fail.
It's easy for us. It's not a big deal.
Right.
Everyone agrees.
Everyone agrees with our answer.
And lots of people would have kind of mundane things like, take the recycling out on Wednesday night or whatever, and that's just on their weekly schedule. Yeah. This is just on our weekly schedule.
Yes.
It's just a mundane sort of thing that we do. It's just part of our week.
It's mundane for us.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is like from our vantage point, from
Not
our perspective.
for everyone
for other people, they would start, their hand would start trembling as they went to write it on there.
Maybe a quick,
but for us, it's like whatever.
A sharp intake of breath.
I
have to answer questions.
Yeah. Definitively?
Ironclad answers?
I mean, we literally have never had anyone come back and say, that's not right, or you didn't do it.
Yeah. Or if they have, we just haven't known. I don't know.
And we have people who send in, just as think about this. We have people who send in questions on almost a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Constantly, and they keep coming back, but they're not saying, well, about that last answer that you gave.
Right.
They're saying, oh, I need more. I have more questions.
They're like, good.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Next question. That
it's
one's
like
answered.
if you're in the middle of a desert and you found a well, you just keep coming back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where the water is.
Yeah. Where are you going to go? This is where you live now.
Yeah. Yeah. You just stay there at the well.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Move your tent.
Unless it's like some kind of... I saw Dune, and so I'm just thinking about Dune.
Oh, how they do it?
They have the suits.
Did you see Done or Tune? That's how I distinguish between Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
So I guess I saw Tune.
Okay.
If I'm doing the weird stuff you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, how do you count?
Makes it easier for me to...
I count Done, 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it's Dune. Why is the first one Dune?
It's Done because it's D1. It's just one with a D on the front.
You're right, and
then Tune.
Done with a D on the end, so you're spelling
on the
beginning. You're spelling one with a U.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's Dune Part 1.
Yeah.
All right. Done.
Yep. So it's done and Tune.
Yep. Done. I see. Okay, now I'm following, and I'm so glad we did this.
But I know it took a little bit to get it at first.
Yeah.
But now it's going to be it's smooth sailing. Yep. It's going to be easy.
The next one will work somehow.
Are they doing another one?
Oh yeah, they're not done.
They're making
the initial saga or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, but they did finish the first book.
Okay.
Did they?
That's the first book.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it would. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything. About it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I did have something else I noticed this week.
What did you notice, Caleb?
Well, okay. I was thinking things are kind of getting crazy crime-wise, just in the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then where we live, we're pretty insulated from it. But, there's stuff. There's things that happen that make you wary.
Yeah,
so
quadruple murders occasionally.
Some of those, yep. But I was thinking of doing of getting some cameras.
Okay. Like security
what made me think
cameras?
Of this was I was walking around my neighborhood and I saw one house that had a bunch of signs up saying that they have cameras. And it was... so I was like, oh.
Did they have that funny one?
I should get a camera. What's the funny one?
Smile. You're on camera.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. These were very serious.
That one always makes me laugh.
That's at a gas station. That's always at a gas station.
Or like a pawn shop or something. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Yep. And I always frown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bummer. Can't rob. Yeah.
Otherwise.
So
no camera.
I decided, okay, that's going to be expensive though.
Sure.
And a whole hassle. Set up all these cameras.
Right.
But Why don't I just get some signs?
Just get the signs.
Just get the signs.
Not
Like,
a
you
bad
don't have a
idea.
dog, you put a dog sign up. That's cool.
Yeah.
Then I was looking at these signs. And like I said, I'm on a budget. I'm trying
Yeah.
to save money doing
Yeah.
this. So I look at these signs. They're, they charge by the word.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I was thinking to save some money, I would just get these signs in Spanish.
Mm.
Why?
Now, what do you guys think? Is that going to look bad?
Oh.
If it's in Spanish, it'll be cheaper because the subject and the verb are together.
Smart. The syntax.
That's a great way to think of it. Not exactly what I was
Okay,
thinking.
okay.
But, yeah.
You just meant so that then you don't have to translate you don't have to have the English and the Spanish. You
Right.
just go have the
Just in the Spanish. If I
Spanish.
just have Spanish. But I was concerned, like, is that going to look bad to people?
right.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, what I'm really concerned with,
Right. Yeah.
I could have just had the English, but that wouldn't quite serve my purposes.
Right.
Just
Right.
gonna-
I'm not so worried about that.
Yeah.
Even the people that are primarily English speakers, if they're mixed up in all that,
Yeah.
they might also speak Spanish. They probably speak a little Spanish.
Yeah. They've learned some to get along.
Just
yeah.
absorb
living
some
on
of
the
it
street, you've
throughout.
absorbed some Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Caleb, if you're thinking about saving money and maximizing the effect,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the clear
Yeah,
solution.
and I was thinking, even to go a little bit more,
Yeah.
okay, come up with some options. Maybe just like attention.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Attention.
Attention, because then it's like people can get it, what it means.
Yeah.
But put that
Mean,
around my
it means
property.
pay attention.
Yeah.
Then you might be encouraging people to like pay attention to your house in case the joint.
I was worried about that.
Yeah.
Right. Pay
It is kind
attention.
of drawing attention.
Right.
It does draw attention. That's like on the lower end. So yeah, like if I'm like, okay, I really got to do something,
Right.
Okay.
but I don't have that much money.
Yeah.
And that makes me think like, I mean, that is why I'm doing this. I don't have that much money. If people were to take things from me, it would be
Right.
a huge blow to me.
Devastating.
Devastating, So, I don't know. I'll just go somewhere in the middle with attention.
Do attention in English and then the rest of the sign in Spanish.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I think, but you can do it attention.
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 Attention. You can do that, and the English speakers are going to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
way you make sure it's clear. Doesn't mean anything else. But then, like, I don't know, cameras. You could say cameras.
That's what I was going to say. If you just said
Attention,
cameras with an exclamation point.
Camera.
What's
Can you
Spanish
use
for
a-
camera?
I believe it's camera.
Camera.
Camera. I don't know though.
Camera.
Because like a movie.
Yeah.
Any guesses what the Spanish word for movie is?
Film?
No,
No.
película.
Película.
Ah.
And a game or like a match.
To buscar, is that to play?
I believe it's partido.
Oh, okay.
Partido?
Oh, a match. Okay. Yeah.
So you can't just make assumptions. Camera seems like it would work in Espanol.
Probably.
as
Yeah.
well.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Hey,
Save money.
here to help as we are with our.
You
our
had a question
listeners.
for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to figure it out. I mean, it wasn't like,
Ironclad.
what do I do with my life,
Oh.
or this kind of stuff we get from people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
No,
I'm
it's
not-
kind of smaller.
Yeah, it was just like a little thing I needed to figure out.
Yeah.
But it was involving money.
I could have done it with myself, but I wanted to do it quickly, so I involved you guys. Like,
Thank
if I
you.
had thought about it, I could have got to the same point, but like I did want to do it quickly because
Well,
I do need to get these signs up.
And to be
fast.
fair,
Yeah.
you did kind of say, "Is this what I should do?" And then we said yes.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
you did the heavy lifting.
I did.
Yeah.
It was really just a yes I needed from you guys.
Yeah.
And actually, if people want to send in those kinds of questions, that's fine too.
that are just a
Yeah.
simple one-word answer.
Yep.
Yes.
We've all we're on record. We'd love to get some questions that are just
Pictures.
an object.
Yeah. Yeah. Has anyone sent a picture in for a
No,
question?
nobody's
No.
done this.
Maybe we
Okay.
should get a PO box and people can mail
Send
an
us,
object,
yes.
mail an actual physical
Yes. Be like,
item.
okay, this is an interesting object.
Oh,
it's ticking.
A fish.
Fish was presumably fresh when they mailed it.
Batteries.
Yeah.
Oh, look, this battery is
Yeah.
ticking.
Yeah. Okay, this is just the contents of your kitchen junk drawer.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yep. Thumbtacks.
And the answer to that one
batteries,
is no.
rubber bands.
Right. Rubber
Yeah.
bands.
MacGyver's dream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your junk drawer.
Rubber bands.
One man's junk drawer is MacGyver's dream drawer.
Guys, it's time for us to get right into our question. This question is from.
Oh.
What was that?
Caleb, are you feeling a little worried about
Yeah.
this question?
I just don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I might.
Not the person.
Just to blow off steam.
Not the person asking the
Not
question.
the person asking the question.
Just go to
Just
a
to go
firing
shooting.
range.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That could be
No, I didn't.
misunderstood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I don't want that to be misunderstood because we have been accused of being mean to this
Yeah.
to this particular questioner
Yeah.
Okay.
collaborator in the past.
Right.
So, to introduce her, I wrote a little haiku. This is called "In the Shade of a Gumdrop Tree." Oh. Record new question. Moment not yet ripe. Not right. No child is shrieking. That's Should I unpack it a little bit? It's.
I need some unpacking.
I think
I just feel that typically in a joy question that there's a child screaming
Right.
either right next to the
Yep.
to the phone
Right.
where it's being recorded
Yeah.
or just 10, 15
Kind of
feet away.
muffled.
Yeah.
Kind of like a muffled scream
Yeah.
from her children while
Yep.
she's recording.
Yeah. But me, I thought maybe when I wrote that, it kind of raised a question for me. So this haiku is called Josh Writes. Butcher block table, under laptop and coffee. Josh thinks, was that mean? So what does it mean to say that Joy always has a screaming child in the vicinity when she...
Well, it's not
Yeah.
mean.
Recording.
It's tricky, right? Because like we all know that that's true.
Yeah.
And look, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy to. It's never been such an issue that we can't hear
Right.
the question.
Absolutely.
That would be when it's a problem.
right.
We can't hear the question.
To
'Cause
me,
the
it is
kid's
only
screaming.
ever added texture.
Yeah.
It's notable, but it
Yep.
is not an
It's
issue.
not a problem because look, I love that
Yeah.
you got to record these when you can.
Absolutely.
And it's just not going to be perfect all the time.
And we don't want, honestly, we do not want you.
Yeah.
If you're like having to, cloister yourself away from your family
No.
and go into a soundproof booth,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we don't want that.
I mean, look, we have a dog that comes in on
Yeah,
occasion.
yeah.
We're not.
not.
Yeah, it's a slice of life. You know,
Yeah.
like that's kind of
Yeah.
what one of the things we enjoy about the questions that are sent in is
Yeah.
that it captures
Yeah.
something about
Yeah.
Sometimes you hear some traffic in the background.
American life
Yeah.
in the 21st century.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I did. So I thought.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah,
of you,
go
No.
ahead.
Josh?
Oh yeah. Sorry.
What is so? How's that? So what's the gumdrop tree in the shade being?
She's in the shade of a gumdrop tree because I think it is
Munchkins?
lore of the podcast that there's a huge gumdrop tree that lives outside their house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. I thought maybe it had something to do with munchkins and children and.
No, that's
gumdrops.
good though. I
Yeah.
like the association, and that's my writing is often
Okay.
kind of inclusive in this way.
Yeah.
where allusions pile up.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's good that you guys bring that to it. Good. I'm glad that doesn't seem mean. This was my first draft. Close to recording, she picks up a smooth gray stone, slings at silent child. So that one I feel like is a little meaner, where it's
Yeah.
like she's hurting her children in
Yeah,
order
and
to
I
make them scream
Yeah.
for the recording.
Right.
Yeah.
That's her.
Yeah.
It's when it
You know,
hits the
it's-
child. This is when it
it's-
hits the child.
Characterizing things differently than just the first one,
It's
which
like-
is just her waiting
Yeah.
for the ideal, the ideal circumstances.
For the moment to be ripe.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
That's good. That's good context for Joy.
Yeah. That's. I hope that helps.
And it was all, I think, pretty nice.
Yeah. It was nice.
It's that's one of the tricky things because it's not a lie, but
Right.
then it's like you're putting a special attention on something that is just kind of we all knew was happening.
Right.
Mhm.
So is that is
it mean to point it out?
Is
I don't
it
think
mean
so.
to
I don't
point
think
things
so.
out that are true?
Yeah.
I don't think it's mean, and maybe that's I guess a question maybe we have though. Maybe Joy could answer that.
Is that
question.
mean?
True. Is this mean?
Or are we
Because that's
being mean?
that's really what's gonna end up. She's the only one that knows.
She's
Sure.
she's
The arbiter of
Yeah.
what's mean to her.
or in some situations her husband knows.
Sure.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's how we found out initially that
Right.
we were nice to him
Yeah.
and not-
Mean to her.
and
And
not
just a
to
quick
her.
reminder.
She didn't
for
say mean. She said not as nice, or did she say mean?
I don't know what the report was. The way I remember it was she just noticed that we were much nicer to Stephen than we
Okay.
were to her.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and she commented
Yeah.
to Stephen.
Yeah.
Let's listen to
And-
her question.
I was just going to
Oh,
quick
yeah.
reminder for Steven that stitches get snitches.
Yeah,
Or sorry,
yeah.
snitches get stitches.
Right.
Yeah.
They get proper medical care when they're hurt.
Yeah.
I've been trying to encourage my oldest son, who is dyslexic, by talking about being dyslexic, because I've never really talked about it before because I didn't want to make it like a big deal about it. But he was just feeling really discouraged and kind of connecting the dots that something was different about him. And so I thought I should talk to him so he doesn't feel like he's weird, because it's super common. And so I was just like telling him it's like different wiring of the brain. It's actually really cool. And he's been feeling a lot more confident than he's ever been. And he's been talking about it a lot more with other people. But the only problem is that he keeps calling it asthma. So I keep overhearing him tell people that he can't read because he has asthma. Or if he does something right, he's like, Mom, maybe it's my asthma that helps me. Or if Arthur mixes something up, he's like, Mom, does he have asthma too? And it's been kind of really consistently, those wires have been mixed up. And he's just, but I just feel, I do correct him, and I feel bad correcting him because he's just so confident, and he's just like branching out and feeling better about himself. And so, have you guys ever been so confident, but also so wrong at the same time?
Thank you. Come again.
Yes, thank you, Joy.
Yeah. That's a good example of being confident and
Yeah.
also wrong.
Wrong.
Hank Azaria's performance says Apu, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So confident in it, but also he should not
Should
have
not-
been
he should
doing
not
that.
have done it. That's
Yep.
true.
Yeah.
That
That's
was
true.
bad. That was bad that he did it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he got really taken to task.
Yes.
And I'm not doing it, just so you know. There's
Well,
Right.
it's just Hank doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they also
Right.
did, you know, it was kind of crazy because nobody knew why The Simpsons hadn't been good for so long, and it was because of that. And so now that they changed it and they actually have a character, an actor playing that character that's the
Yeah.
same ethnicity as the character, the show's much better.
No, the show's
and,
good
and
again.
everybody
It's
cares about it and
It's
watches
better.
it now.
Yeah.
So
It's better.
it
and
did solve that.
It's cool for him to say,
Thank you. Come again.
Right.
you know, and be Indian.
Yeah. It helps.
Right,
Yeah.
because that's accurate. That is what they say.
Yes.
And there's nothing funnier
Totally.
than that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, man, that is. It's crazy. It's kind of heart wrenching to hear, you know, the struggles of
Totally.
the young man.
Absolutely.
But it is incredibly. I mean, it's
a good
humorous.
One. It's a good one.
It's humorous to the very thing that you have kind of prevents you from being able to talk about the
Right.
thing that you have.
Yeah.
Like if you were a paraplegic, you wouldn't really be able to talk about being a
Right.
paraplegic.
Well,
Hold on.
I
Can
think you could.
No, let's let Caleb
Okay.
continue.
yeah.
If
I
you were,
really want to hear more. What
if
would-
you were talking to your deaf friend.
Oh, I see. I see. There was hidden
Yeah.
context.
Yeah. Okay.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
you
that
wouldn't
would
be able to tell them you're paraplegic.
No.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "What's wrong with you?"
That's
you'd
not
be
exactly
like-
what they'd say.
Yeah, that's
They'd be
true.
like, "What's wrong with you?"
Right. That's probably similar. Or they'd
Yeah.
use their hands,
Yeah.
and then you'd be kind of pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
is paraplegic the whole?
It's the whole thing.
Okay.
A whole kit and caboodle.
It's four limbs,
4 limbs.
I think.
Yep.
Isn't that
That's what is.
quadriplegic?
That's quadriplegic.
Isn't paraplegic just
There's
the
two.
legs? Or
I
just
think
2
you're right.
legs?
I think
So-
let's just admit right now, quadriplegic
Yeah.
is 4.
has to be 4.
I don't know these things, okay?
It has to be.
If you're paraplegic, it's just your legs or just your arms.
I guess so. It's probably less common for it to just be
Just be your
arms.
arms.
It's just your
But listen, I feel conflicted about laughing about this.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was just thinking about a guy going through life like that. It's
Yeah.
like he can just walk fine when he's
Yeah.
just like these 2 things are just
Yeah. Really
No
interesting
control.
walk.
yeah.
Yeah. No
Wow.
control over the arms.
No, that's
Just
crazy.
turning. Just
Sorry,
making
yeah.
a turn.
I mean, and
at
I can't.
speed.
Obviously, I'm not doing my research
Right.
good
Right.
enough right now.
Right.
I realize that,
Yeah.
but my point stands.
That's why we answer
Yep,
these questions.
It stands. It doesn't use its arms though.
Yep.
It just stands
It just
there.
stands there. It can't defend itself in a fight.
No.
It can run.
Yeah. The what I was going to say was
This is how it would get away.
that's fine. Do you have anything else? No. That's it.
Are you sure?
Okay. If you ask me, maybe this as another way they would get away.
Hopping.
Might be kind of hard to use a pogo stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Get some kind of different pogo stick that you hold on with your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got.
What were you going to say, Josh?
I don't want to say it anymore.
Are you sure?
Come on.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's I think we can just move on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't need to say it.
Do you want to say this, Josh?
That's not a knife. That is, yeah. Well, I wasn't going to say that, but now I'm glad I did.
And then what I was going to say was this. Excuse me, that's not a knife.
That's good.
And that I don't have any. Am I on there?
You're still on here,
I'm not talking about knives.
but you didn't send anything.
You didn't
in.
send them.
Okay.
You didn't send one.
Yeah.
in.
Oh,
that's
that's right.
one that. So I sent one in, and then Caleb
Yeah.
has one.
I just had that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That we were. It's just kind of parallel.
Parallel
thinking.
thought.
You might have
Group
thought that I
mind.
combined my 2, but I didn't. I just made a whole new one that does
Yeah.
both of the ones I did. So I
Yeah.
don't have to press 2
It's very
buttons.
impressive.
That's easier.
Yeah.
Techno wizardry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So Joy's question ultimately is, has this ever happened to us? And that's a yes
Yeah.
or no question.
Yep.
That's true.
Yes, it has happened.
Yes.
Yes.
To be so confident about something, but also completely wrong.
Yep, that's happened.
I have to say though that for me this is a little bit tricky, and I'm not going to answer right now, but I do want to just lay out some of the groundwork for my situation, which is that I am not confident,
Okay.
and I'm also very careful
Yeah.
to not be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That doesn't mean that I'm not wrong.
Right.
I'm not saying anything like that.
right.
I doubt every single thing I say. But so this is a harder one for me. In general, in life, I try to not be wrong.
Right.
Really hard.
Yeah.
And I usually end up qualifying things at a pretty exceptional level.
And it's kind of crazy because it's totally different for me.
Okay.
Like very different for me. There's actually in this episode already, there's an instance
Right.
of this.
Right. Where you just
Yeah.
went for
I
it.
was sure I was saying the right thing, paraplegic, and I was wrong.
Right.
And so yeah,
You can admit
I get
that.
it.
Yeah.
And it was even where I was kind of like I wasn't making fun of this dyslexic child.
No.
Right.
But the soundboard was.
I don't think I used it in that way.
Oh, okay.
No.
That was for my point that was
Yeah.
just standing.
Oh,
couldn't use
right.
its
That's
arms.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I get it.
Yeah.
This totally happens to me. I have another one in the chamber too.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Let's hear what Gabe.
You
has
have
to
another
say.
example? In
Yeah,
the
I thought
chamber?
of one
Yeah.
before the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's. I think I had to go back a little bit because I think similar to Josh. I it's not that I'm never wrong. I am often wrong, but I discover that I'm wrong before I have taken a stand on something or presented something as truth. And
Yeah.
Thinking about this question actually, when I heard it, a very specific instance came into my brain when I think I was 16, and I was at a big Christmas open house at this weird place.
Weird place.
This weird place.
So wait, we're not
So
doing the
really
just yes
odd.
or no, right?
Well,
We're opening it up.
it's if you would like to share.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Gabe, you're more than,
yes, it's
more
happened.
than welcome to.
I
Yeah.
have been wrong. and
I just wanted to
confident.
make sure that this
Yeah.
wasn't just a yes, that you're just
No, it's a
making
yes.
long.
Nope, it's a long yes so far, but now it's over, and we can move on.
No.
To the rest of the story.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yes.
I
So
want to hear
was
the
wrong.
story.
Oh, okay.
I want to hear the story.
I was.
Yeah.
I guess I
making
just
sure.
wasn't tracking the flow of. But at any rate, there I was, a young boy of 16, and I went to this Christmas open house that was down in Virginia. We drove down from Pennsylvania, and it was this really odd situation where just kind of this family that had a lot of different connections, lots of friends, in the surrounding areas. They'd have this big Christmas party, and they were pretty relaxed about who was there, who showed up, and it was all sorts of different people, but mostly Christians, mostly Reformed Christians, and so when you would come across somebody that didn't necessarily fit that mold, it was pretty interesting, and it was a good opportunity to get to know them and talk to people from different backgrounds and things like that. And when you're 16 and the guy that's making the drinks knows that you're kind of allowed to drink alcohol at your house and just decides that you can drink alcohol here too, it just kind of makes you some drinks and you're hanging out, and it's nothing too, it's nothing weird. Like, that's weird, but it wasn't like weird
Right.
that, but
It was normal for us.
it was normal weird, like the normal level of
I mean,
something that's
you'd
completely
be excited about it that it was going
Absolutely.
to happen because it wasn't guaranteed, but
Right.
you
Yeah.
wouldn't be like, "Oh, I can't believe it.
So-
I'm going to take the advantage of all the drinking I
I'm
can
gonna,
do."
I'm gonna, yeah,
Unless you're me, but-
maximize.
Yeah.
But I, I was enjoying the classic cocktail, the sidecar, and a couple of those, and just enjoying mixing and mingling with all
Right.
these people. And I had met a gentleman, very, very short, bald, bearded man, who identified as a Messianic Jew, and that was really interesting. Because I had never met one of those before.
Yeah.
A Messianic
You were-
Jew.
Did you?
kinda-
So he was sorry that he killed Jesus.
He didn't apologize to me.
But yeah, but
There's just something about the vibe that kind of communicates that, though.
Okay.
The lifestyle
Yeah.
hints.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was also in the military, and this was back when it was right after Don't Ask, Don't Tell had ended, and I had left the conversation to go get a drink, a sidecar, and
Yeah.
I came
And
back.
this is sidecar
Another
number
one.
what?
It was,
Like,
it was probably number 3.
there's
But this
more
is over the
sidecar than
course-
car at this point.
Sure, yeah. I'm firmly planted.
car is out of the picture.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just a bunch of sidecars
They left-
bundled together.
The sidecar, the motorcycle has already just left the sidecar at the bar, and I'm sitting in the sidecar, and I came back into the conversation, and I heard him talking about Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and this was kind of uncharacteristic of me, and I do think that part of it was alcohol being involved. So this is something of a cautionary tale, but
Yeah.
I thought through his story, I thought he was basically sharing that he was homosexual. and in the military. And he was talking about the end of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And I was like, okay, wow, this guy is a gay Messianic Jew. And I had
In the military.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I think it was in the Navy.
That
which,
makes sense. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so I was like, right, okay,
You're
that
already-
makes sense.
You're primed. Yeah.
But the
Right, as the village people
the-
hath taught us.
the religious side of things didn't add up necessarily. And so, you know, he said he mentioned Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and so I asked him, well, what do you think about the end of Don't Ask, Don't Tell?
Yeah.
And he goes, what do you mean? And I said, he you know, kind of being like, in what, you know, like, I guess in what context or something like that. And I was like, well, you know, you're in the military and you're religious and you're gay, right? And I mean, this guy was probably twice my age at the time, probably more than that. And he turned, you know, he had red hair, and then his bald head and face matched.
You couldn't
That.
see where his face
Just
was.
immediately turned bright red. And then I could see my reflection in his glasses also turning bright red. And then I went outside and smoked cigarettes and avoided this really nice
didn't
guy.
say
a really
anything?
nice guy.
There was no closure.
I could not
He wasn't
come back
like
from that.
no.
He said,
So
what?
you might have been right.
No,
You-
sorry. I'm sorry.
he
He
was
turned
like-
bright red
he
and
was like,
did say, no, I'm not gay. But I am in the military,
Okay.
and I am sorry for killing Jesus. No, I'm just kidding. He did. He did say that. Anyway, that is
so-
one of the moments that I've been so confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is great. I'm engaging with culture and people
Well, you're
and
kind
society.
of excited to meet one of
Yeah.
them too. You don't know that
So-
where we grew up, we didn't know them.
No.
These guys.
No.
So you're kind of like, oh, I'll get to meet one. And
Almost
talk to
none of those. Like
Yeah.
in turn, like those.
I mean, just think about all
Yeah.
the things on your little list that
Yep.
you could tick off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all
I
at
mean, that
once.
was
Ding,
just.
ding, ding,
person
ding, ding.
bingo.
It's
Yep.
true. My eyes were bigger than
Acquaintance
Your
bingo.
clipboard.
my clipboard.
Yes.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
That's amazing. I have never heard that story.
That's astonishing. I mean, I
didn't
don't
know that
I guess
at all. I was at the party too.
you were there, and yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, it's one of the low points of my life. It was
Wow.
truly.
That feels bad.
It felt terrible
That does feel
because
bad.
he wasn't just a truly nice man,
Yeah.
and you know, never had anything. And then like the next morning,
Yeah.
because the other thing is like they would just let people crash at their house.
Yeah,
and it
we
was
just
just like
stayed
sleeping bags. You're just hanging out, and like the next morning, I woke up and I was like drinking coffee, and he shows up and I was like, oh no, and he was
Oh,
just like,
shoot. You were
I
like-
was just reading in you know.
In
Malachi
Deuteronomy
today.
about-
yeah, and whatever, and he just wanted to talk about scripture with me, and I was like, "Dang it!"
That's nice. This is a nice
Anyway,
guy called
he's too
Gay.
nice. I called him gay.
I do like
You're
Yeah.
just like,
I like that
Yeah.
story from his perspective, which is
Yeah.
just that it just seems like you just looked at it and was like
this
this
guy's
guy's
Yeah.
obviously
yeah,
gay.
obviously
I-
a gay man.
I do wish I
And
knew.
he was like,
Thank you, come again.
right. Well, not really exactly. He was kind of like, "No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah.
Don't come back." No, he was.
that's what you
nice.
felt like.
Anyway, that's what I thought of
good.
immediately when I
Wow.
heard, because I mean that's pretty much exactly
The
what was going on.
situation. Absolutely.
Yeah, you were like, so are you,
Yeah,
Twinkle toes.
yeah. And then he was like,
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
and then you felt like,
And you know, it's not like when you
then you went upstairs into the attic and you were like,
when you say 16 years old, you don't, you know, I was a big guy. So a lot
Yeah.
of people wouldn't have just thought, oh, here's like a drunk child. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. No,
this is like
you looked like an old man who looked young.
yeah. Well, and I was like dressed up a little bit. I had like loafers on and slacks and
Like
like
Andy Milonakis.
Yeah.
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 Like you looked like
exactly.
you seemed like an older man that had like a pituitary issue or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You know,
Or maybe just like that I find that with sort of career alcoholics or meth addicts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you're like, how I don't. They're old and young, and I don't.
Yeah.
Understand.
How is this?
Yeah.
How
And
is
how do
this?
you get that job? How do you get the job? Where do I
What
apply?
kind of a career
Yeah.
is that?
How careful are they with your when you submit your resume?
What kind of a CV?
Yeah.
do I need to?
Sorry, are these companies like at the job fair at college or what? Like
looking for?
they have a
someone
table
who's
it's
not
like,
a meth addict yet that wants to be it. We know we've got plenty of the guys that
Yeah.
are already meth addicts.
I guess the truth is they're not actually at the job fair. They sign up for it, but then they just totally forget about it.
you sign up, and then
Yeah.
they just arrest
Exactly.
you. Intent to buy meth. That's crazy. Wow.
So yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the answer is yes. I had a this was in college. I had a bit of a competition with a friend of mine. It was there were these open questions. One of them was who's better at music, and the answer was he was. And then it was like who knows more about music, and the answer was he knew more.
Okay.
One of the questions was who knows more about the Beatles.
Ooh.
And so in high school, I was just like the guy who was good at music, knew a bunch about music, and loved the Beatles, right?
So these are defining parts
These
of your
are
character.
things that I would
Core.
say. These are how I think of myself, and I don't have a lot of other things to go on.
Right.
This is most of what I have.
Right.
And he was kind of eroding those. So I no longer had distinctives. Because like I'd like met other people in college who, knew a lot of music that I didn't know. But I was like, but the things that I know, I really know a lot about, and they're real fixtures for me.
Right.
So I didn't have to like totally reorganize who I thought I was. But my new friend, this guy in college was a Beatles guy. So we were in my apartment, we were listening to Strawberry Fields, and I don't know exactly how I ended up saying this, what exactly provoked it. But at some point I said something like, this is probably
not a knife.
No, yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But it was like I was looking at a very huge knife. And so I said, this is probably my favorite Beatles song. And doesn't Paul's voice sound weird?
Yeah. It would sound weird.
It would sound really weird.
Yep.
And I just didn't even, I was like, didn't even think about it. So I was confident that, and I'll give a little defense of myself, okay?
Sure, you're allowed.
I'd seen the anthology. In the anthology, Paul is, they're talking to Paul about Strawberry Fields.
So the
yeah.
defense is that you know so much about the Beatles.
Right.
That it's hard to figure out what it is.
Exactly.
Yes.
So in the anthology, he's Paul's like, I wrote this opening for the song, and he plays the Mellotron opening, right?
Yep.
And so I was like, Paul, it's Paul's song.
Right.
And then also the weird thing about Strawberry Fields is that the take that they used, one of the takes, has been slowed down.
Yeah.
So John's voice sounds weird.
Yep.
It sounds a little weird. Now
Paul's voice sounds weird.
here's what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that John's voice sounds so weird that it actually sounds more like Paul's voice than
Right.
John's voice.
Sure. Right.
Because it doesn't. It still sounds like John's voice, and
Sure.
you can tell. but it does sound a little odd. But my friend just immediately was like, this is a John song. And I was like, in that situation where
Brutal.
you're trying to figure out how you can. Is there anything that you could say that would cast doubt on on him. Is
Yeah.
there any like what can be done?
Right.
I couldn't come up with anything,
That was
and
a
I just
text.
knew immediately that he was right too. I was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Right.
And did you try to do anything to get
But
out of it?
I did, but I didn't really have a tactic. But I think I was like, well, like,
You
but
know, they
I said it sounds weird.
it sounds weird.
it's Lennon McCartney.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, it's
Yeah. Well, if you look at it,
shared.
well,
it's always
shared. But
part of the deal they worked out.
But then later, that same day, when I thought like maybe enough time had elapsed that these things wouldn't seem related.
Okay.
I ended up like kind of getting into like a friendly wrestling match. because like I think that I was just like, I have to figure out some way of like showing some superiority in some metric somewhere.
Yeah.
And then he pinned me.
Oh.
And I had not and like he really he was smaller than me. I had not been beaten
Oh my gosh.
in a wrestling encounter by anyone other than my dad, as far as I
Right.
can remember.
Right.
So it was just a bad day.
It's a
That-
bad
that
day.
is a bad day.
That is no fun.
all of my distinctives were gone.
yeah.
That is a bad way.
You
You just
had
want to.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't want to be there anymore.
But instead, you got.
Yep.
Yeah. And then
Ding, ding, ding.
And
Round
you-
two.
And maybe
Right.
you considered doing.
I got.
yeah, going postal.
I thought maybe like I thought about finding a gun and killing my friend.
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. See if you can pin a bullet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck with this.
Yeah. Have fun trying to.
Outrun the police.
No, this is an ambulance.
Oh.
They're coming to pick him up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Look who's pinned now.
Yeah.
Oh, now who knows so much about the Beatles?
Yeah. Now look who's.
Oh, I guess
Yeah.
you kind of have an in with John. I guess.
Can you
Yeah.
and it's actually kind of crazy because Josh, you were wrestling him to impress Jodie Foster
yeah. Yeah.
or something. I don't know.
How many copies of Catcher in the Rye did you have?
That's,
Just the standard 3.
yeah, just a normal amount.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That man. Okay, mine is gonna seem kind of lame. I feel like it is embarrassing,
Okay,
but I feel like yours. Enough. I'm gonna shut up about that. Let's just say what I have to say.
yeah.
So what happened to me is I was so confident. You know, okay, as the child of a veterinarian, you kind of start to think you know more about
Oh,
animals
I've
than
done
most
this.
people.
I know what you're going to
You
say. and I have
kind
done
of,
this kind of thing.
You know, think you're like, well, I kind of know because I've
Yeah.
been around. I've seen some stuff. I've seen more of dogs than you have, which is definitely true.
I've seen the more inside of
Yep.
dogs than you have.
Exactly.
I know dogs inside and out.
Inside and out, baby. So I wrote a paper in high school, and I was talking about some surgery my dad had done. And I used a term, and I spelled it a certain way. And the parent who was volunteering, or probably not volunteering, they're probably getting paid to read our papers.
Yes,
I hope to goodness they weren't volunteering.
a great salary.
Yeah, getting so much money to read paper after paper of just wow. Yeah, probably just horrendous papers.
Right.
But he reads my
Not mine. Mine
paper,
were
and
pretty good.
one of his corrections is, "That's not how you spell C-section." I was like, thinking back on it, I was like, I felt like so mad and like angry that he corrected me on this because I was like, it's called a C-section because you can see it.
like clearly.
Oh
That's
my
why it's called a
gosh.
C-section. You got to see what's going. You want to see what's in the section.
That's incredible.
There's
So-
this whole section.
Yeah.
The dog.
Yeah.
There's a section of a dog.
Okay, I'm gonna make the incision and pull out the all of the abdominal. What I mean, contents,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess. And
Well, just the uterus, you're
Uterus.
pulling out.
yeah, I mean,
You
some
might-
other stuff comes out too.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
you know.
you got to throw some other stuff back
And
in.
now this is the C section.
Sees
this is
his
the-
section of the dog.
This is the section of the surgery where you can see the section of the dog.
Yep. Yep.
And
So yeah, I felt kind of mad about that
Yeah.
because I didn't even think twice about checking it. I was just like, yeah, C-section.
A C-section.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I like that. That's also it's kind of the solution to the problem. The dog is having trouble birthing puppies, and
Yeah.
so we need to get in there and see,
See
what's
what's
going
going
on.
on.
It's like rather than just
Yeah.
actually cutting into the uterus and removing the puppies.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
You just need to get some eyes on
Let's
this
see.
thing.
Let's see.
Seeing
Oh,
is
we were
operative.
right. We were right. We need to cut this whole thing apart.
Yeah, that's, and it's nice because usually that's how it ends up, and by that point it's already all out. So you just
Yeah.
gotta kind of
Might
finish
as
up
well.
the
Might as well.
Some people don't like hearing about surgeries.
Yeah, I get it.
Anyway,
That was mine. I was just feel confident. You feel sure.
Yeah.
You feel sure of yourself.
okay,
And I should have.
really briefly, I just thought of a more recent one at
good.
my own birthday party. We were playing a music trivia game, and the song was a Lisa Loeb classic from 1994.
Yep.
And it's on. This is me being very vulnerable. I'm still writhing. I was just so frustrated with myself because I let my team down, and I answered for the title of the song by Lisa Loeb. I said "Say,"
Right.
What you
because
said?
I was.
What you said?
I said "Say," Josh,
Okay.
instead of the correct answer, which is "Stay."
Yeah.
But I was confused. Again, the defense is I knew so much that I
Right.
was made to be incorrect by it, by my own knowledge.
Is there another song of hers called "Stay"?
No, the first line of the song is
or called
"You
Say.
say."
You say,
I see.
I only hear what I want to. I don't
Yeah.
listen hard to the.
So that was another moment that I was like, I have this locked in. Like we are going to win because it was like the moment, and I said "say" instead of "stay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one letter, and it was my own sister doing the judging.
Wow.
And it was my birthday party,
Yeah.
and she didn't give me the point.
Wow.
She refused to.
So
Wow.
anyway, so
What was
that's
that? Sorry.
that's another time.
Sorry, Caleb. What was that?
You lost the point, so you
Oh,
dropped,
I
dropped a
dropped it.
coin.
It
You were
fell.
like,
yeah,
shoot.
I was so confident, flipping the point with my finger and my thumb,
and you
and
were like,
hot, 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 hot,
I
hot, hot,
dropped
hot,
it.
hot.
couldn't handle the heat.
Where did he drop the? Where did he drop it?
where did he drop?
Why
the,
was it so hot?
Well, he dropped it, and then
Blew up.
and then he was like,
Hot, 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 hot.
and then he was so sad. He was like,
Yeah,
Yeah. Hold on. What was?
I was cocking the Nerf pistol.
Yeah. What was that?
yeah, the Nerf pistol. That
Okay.
sounds like this.
It's one of those. Oh, it's one of those Nerf guns. A 45 caliber Nerf gun.
Yeah.
50 caliber
Nerf gun.
Sniper.
Barrett
Yeah.
Nerf gun.
Yeah, this Nerf gun. Hollow point Nerf dart.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of a gun guy these days.
Gotta put a silencer on my Nerf gun.
I modded out my Nerf gun.
Modded out. Dude, it's kind of cool.
300 PSI
Because I
spring in it.
have my boys, and so we do have some Nerf.
Uh-huh.
And you can buy a base gun, and they do have all these different mods you can get for your
Yeah.
Nerf gun.
Trick it
A
out.
different era,
New
Yeah.
era.
Oh yeah.
and it's fun. They love it.
No,
I
it's
love
not.
it,
It's
too.
not dorky either. It's not a waste of time.
No.
No, it's fun.
Well,
and
it's
cool.
bad when I was looking up something because there was something special about one of the guns, actually, that Ethan gave us guns. My brother gave his groomsmen
Oh, yeah.
Nerf guns, and I was trying to figure out how to get the laser dot on it to work.
You
Because
put
I
a
knew
battery
my
in it.
boys would love it. And it's weird. The battery compartment's weird. So I couldn't figure it out. And then I looked up online.
Definitely a battery compartment problem.
You would be surprised. I know what you mean. And I thought like for sure this is where these go. And it does not make sense.
I have the same model of Nerf pistol.
It wasn't like weird to you at all?
No.
Okay. That's
Did
fine.
Did you think you put the batteries where the surplus
You put
ammunition
you're like,
goes?
this would make sense for batteries, right? And
I
then
love
you're like
that.
looking around and you're like, well, it doesn't make sense, really.
No.
But it was weird because I was like, it's the kind of thing where you're taking something apart and it feels like you're going to break it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, am I doing the right
I
thing?
know.
Yeah.
I know exactly what
Have
you
I-
mean.
So I was
past the
making
point of
sure
no
I didn't
return.
want to break it
Yeah.
by trying to put making it cool.
Right. Making it work.
Yeah. So I put these things on there or I was trying to figure out how to do it. I looked up a video and there's
Okay.
like some adolescent boy just going on and on about this gun.
About how it's like it's like a great.
Just doing like a review.
Oh, okay. An
And talking
unboxing.
about how accurate and it's like it's a Nerf gun.
I mean-
it is not accurate. I
Right.
felt bad for this boy.
Yeah.
Because he was a little too old. He was a little too
right.
old to be talking about it like
Yeah.
this.
Right.
Yes, you,
Yep.
Yep.
father of 5, looking up YouTube videos about how to put the battery in.
Because I didn't want to break
This
it.
poor kid.
Jeez. Man, this kid's wasting all his time. He should be out there hanging out with people.
You're saying that like oh dude, I'm so excited to use this gun.
No. Kill
But
him.
I have 3 boys. You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
to do these things. And so the stakes are even higher. If I break this, it's not just that I'm disappointed I don't get to use my gun.
Yeah.
It's like my boys
will be
upset.
disappointed.
Yeah.
I get you. I would have been
Yeah.
disappointed too.
Yeah.
Is that one of your sons?
Yeah. He just started saying that, and so I made a sample of it.
I love it. And if you know this kid, it's like a perfect.
Yes.
It's like it sums him up perfectly.
It's pretty
Yep.
good. Yeah. It's pretty good.
So I mean, I feel like pretty solid.
We've answered the question.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Those are the
Yes
times.
and yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And those are probably
And some behind the scenes too.
yeah.
Some embarrassing stuff that kind of makes it like that's not something you would volunteer.
Right.
So you know it's true.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
it's
yeah.
true. It's got to be true. We didn't make that stuff up.
Thanks so much, Joy, for sending in that question. We're glad to give you a definitive ironclad answer on it. If you want to send in questions, you can do that.
Yeah.
Send in an audio file of about a minute in length
Yeah.
to advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com.
And can I say, if you want to send in some ideas for samples for the soundboard, do
Sure. Yeah.
it. You know, whatever.
Send
Or a
in
question that I can put on the
yeah.
soundboard.
Send in
A quick question.
a question.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Or send in a sample that is a question.
There's a good example.
Or
We have a pretty good example of a question.
Yeah.
That's good on the
Yep.
soundboard, and it's one that Josh asks a lot.
Excuse
Caleb's
me.
got a good
Yeah,
one,
that's
too.
Not a knife.
Yeah,
That's
that
not a
one's not
question.
the one.
That's
Yeah,
not a
sorry.
question.
Sorry, this is the one.
What you say?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So questions like that.
Questions
What you
like
said?
that. Or, I mean, some questions, if you want to send in something for the soundboard, you could just send in an object
Yeah,
and we could
use it.
we could just use it.
We could throw it off something and see what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
Hit it.
And
We'll go on the federal building, throw it off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
see what happens.
Let
see
us know
it
what you
sounds
guys
like.
think about Dune 2.
Oh, you mean,
Tune.
I think you mean tune.
Tune.
Yeah.
I do mean Tune.
Tune.
I forgot my own
Done.
rubric.
And tune. I did have. Thank you.
Sorry.
Uh,
Sometimes I don't mean to. and
yeah.
it Just
Yes.
No, that's good.
yeah.
No, I mean, it's good it's an accident.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're not doing it intentionally.
I didn't. I was trying to. Yeah. There was something on my screen. I was trying to get off the screen.
Yeah.
And so it just.
Yeah. It's just one of those.
Yeah.
The I had a quick aphorism before we
Oh yeah.
cut out to the song there. This is just something, Joy, maybe this is helpful for your boy. Being wrong's the first step in a journey towards the light. So show a little pep. You're just the weakest kind of right.
That's very
great.
encouraging.
I love
Isn't
that.
that encouraging?
That's
That's
very
great.
sweet.
The weakest kind of right.
I feel like it's
I
probably
feel like that's what a lot of teachers are telling their children these days.
What if we've talked about merch before, but for some reason that just screamed bookmark to me. I know that.
I'm seeing it in pastels, a
Right.
sunset, maybe a beach.
Exactly. I don't know that
Yeah.
many podcasts have branded bookmarks.
Bookmarks.
But maybe we could be the
That's
first.
a great
do that.
idea.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
I assume people that listen to this are reading books
Yeah.
Right.
and not listening to them.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you put a bookmark on an audiobook?
I mean, I'm screwed up one of my phones.
Yeah. Right. Just jamming it in there.
Trying to work it in.
This is a USB-C bookmark for the new iTone 15.
Yep.
Anyway,
Guys, thanks so much.
Hey, thank you, Josh.
Josh, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Bye.
I've had a
Oh.
A blast.
Oh, a blast. Good.
an explosion. I've had an explosion.
Explosive. Okay, well, we're going to let Caleb attend to that.
And
And it explains a lot.
yes, a brain explosion. I had an aneurysm. Or wait, I don't know what those are.
No, it's
No, that
what,
is-
it's what you guys were kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
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 I don't care about the words you use. I don't care if it's lots or few. I need to feel the way you say the things you say. No one ever in a book got down the meaning of your look. I need you to never go away. Ooh, I need you to never go away. I don't care about the chords I choose. I don't care if the thought is new. I couldn't get it all into the lots around the mall. I couldn't get it spoken before my vocal cords were broken. I need you to never go